Hi there, and welcome to a very surprise episode of the Always Believer podcast. I'm your host, Ariadna. It is a Go to Fly Wednesday where we're going to be even more sincere. Now, for those who are watching the YouTube video, thank you very much. This is as real as it gets. I have the mic literally right next to me, so you'll all be able to hear. I do have part of the window open, and it's also, I don't know if you guys can see, it's beautiful outside, but it's also very loud. I have a husband who's sleeping right behind me, and you can maybe slightly hear him snoring. And you're asking yourself, Ariadna, out of all the situations, why are we recording now? Because this is what my soul is seeking. This is what you've been asking for. This is the reality of what I want to show, apart from all the countless stories that we've had for up to today. This will be after Motivational Monday 2 episodes, so I want to say we have 126, 127 episodes. So this might be the 128th. We'll find out when I edit it, basically. So we do have a lot of stories, a lot of guests, and a lot of one-to-ones, not as many. So you've asked, and here I am. And within all those stories and backgrounds and chaotic moments, you've heard some of my stories as well. And I decided for right now to go with the flow. Whereas I might pause the YouTube video depending on he wakes up, and then we'll just have it pause in the middle. We'll figure it out. Whether is I just record this and upload it on regular podcast episode. Simply because respecting my husband's and his moments, of course. This is the reality. Literally this. So I've been called to record right now at this very moment in time for you to see and remember that it's not all sunshines and rainbows. And I see this a lot. I'm very open and honest about my health issues, about, my emotional growth and thoughts and feelings. I'm very open about the shadow work, the deep-rooted shadow I'm going through. And I feel like the more that I do Motivational Mondays and the more I have guests, we have Shayla this month. We had her last month in April, and she's back for more. And the more we're going to sink into that, the more we're going to talk about these connections and this deep-rooted shadow work and this behind the scenes, because I want to be as natural as I can be with you, for you to see that dark side, for you to see that dark side as a lesson, and for me as a reminder to say, hey, 5 years ago I was there, 2 weeks ago I was there, last night, this morning I was there, look at me now. And not only that, like the twist of the coin as well, like how much I've grown. So I'm just, once again, going with the flow. We're going to set this one out. We're going to see how long it takes. COVID pandemic era was hard for all of us. We moved to the States pre-COVID with a whole different idea in mind. And when pandemic hit, it hit us hard in many different ways, shapes, and forms for the both of us. It grew us stronger together as a couple, without a doubt, but that's all the point of this story. But it threw me through the most intense period as an adult of growth and of being quiet. I was very quiet when I was a child. I was very quiet when I was a teenager. I had a lot of rage, but still I was quiet. Like I've said before, if you told me to like pink, I like pink. If you told me to go to the left, I'll go to the left. It's one of those influential things of just do what others tell you to do, work that path, do that, 9 to 5, get married young. Not that I got married young, but I could have been. And do what other people tell you to do until, I started breaking out of that path little by little by little. And then when the pandemic hit, it hit us all in different ways and feelings and vibes. And with me, I got quiet again, which is weird because it's also the moment that I started the podcast. I've been writing for years. I've done conferences. I'm a sexual abuse survivor. I've done so many conferences about this and awareness. I really believe in mental health and therapy. Go to therapy. I'm not a therapist myself. I can help you with certain tips. I've been a life coach at some point of my life. I've been a foster mom. Those are really key important things. Children and protecting them and helping them and guiding them are very important to me. Hence why I was a teacher at a very young age as well, because they were my biggest source of helping, the biggest way I could think of for myself to help, basically. So moving onward, it was interesting timing, because as much as I was doing the podcast, and I have 100-something episodes in this Always Believer podcast, plus my 2 other ones, but the deepest one is this one. Latina is pretty deep too. It's a very specific subject about Latinas. But yeah, this one goes in deep. We have guests every year. Every year, my God, every year for sure, but every week for season 1 and season 2. And so even though it was a very transformative time in that kind of sense and very goal-oriented, it was also a time with myself where I quieted myself, where I couldn't speak up. I was getting physically and mentally and emotionally hurt in many different ways and forms for 2 years. And I couldn't speak up about it. I couldn't say to these people, hey, this is what's bugging me, or this is what I can do, is because we were trying to hang on to the best of our abilities to make certain things work. And what did that lead to? Well, apart from a lot of emotional trauma still needed to be healed, did more therapy. It led to moving back home to a place that fills my heart with the biggest and greatest love there is, that was able to, with my partner, move to a place where I found peace years ago, and I know it's home, and that truly does help. And to get out of a situation that I know that wasn't right for both of us. Once again, this is not a story. I'm not involved with my husband in this. We lived it through together, many, many different things and many similar things. But the point of the matter is, apart that I do have a life partner and a soulmate, and we're there. The point is more of my story. So it hit me hard. I'm a very active person. I'm fiery. I'm fierce. I see what's on my mind. I run a million miles per minute. Talking about my husband, one of his first nicknames for me when we were just friends, the Energizer Bunny. I go, go, go. And not like overwhelmingly overgo, just kind of like that's what my body needs and my soul. And I would do sports, and I would go hang out with friends or see my city or a million things and events. And when pandemic hit, obviously all that was gone. We lived in a very small town in the middle of literally nowhere, in one of the coldest states that I've ever lived in. And it was 100% the opposite of who I was and who I am. And it was supposed to be only temporary for like 6-7 months, and it ended up for being 2.5 years. So that whole sum of all that, the lack of activity, the lack of healthy food and healthy environment, my hyperthyroidism just took a life of its own, and it became, I've never called it a monster before. I feel like that's something I usually don't associate with parts of who I am, but if you want to be graphic about it, and I'm also very Disney oriented, so I guess it does feel like that kind of when you're a kid. It just kind of took over. And with hyperthyroidism, not only is it the weight gain for my case because my metabolism is low, but it's also emotional. I have lack of hormones, so it's like having a menopause at a very young age. you can cure it, you can have pills, you can do a lot of things for it. I didn't have the right tools I needed at that moment, no matter how much we tried. And we tried in other ways. Like, I did find joy in other ways, but there were so many times that I was so depressed and I just didn't want to live anymore. Among all the beautiful activities that I was doing with my husband, or my sister, she's my all-time best friend, I was able to see her whole bunch and see my nephew. My obviously team flyer, my community, among all of that, there were really, really dark rooted shadow moments of like, what the actual F, I've been doing this so much. What is this lesson? Why am I in this environment again? How am I supposed to move on, move forward? Like, what, health wise, because that couldn't get any worse because of the lack of movement, because the gyms were closed. And when they did open, I, to be honest, was the very first one to be very hesitant to going back in. Not only to work out with a mask, because I get hot very easily, like very, very easily. It was something I didn't feel comfortable doing for a long time. So that's why I said no. And then in the state that I lived in, summer lasts 2-3 months. Like, the rest of the year was, cold and rainy. It's Massachusetts, by the way, which is still very beautiful, but it's very, very cold and dark and rainy. So it was a complex of that, the lack of healthy food, or the availability to have healthy food the way that I used to, plus the combination of, when I was building my own podcast and company and what I'm still doing, I did it all from sitting down from a bed. And I've said this various time. I always think of Jackie from Next on Scene, because she shares that story a lot, but there's many, many others who start recording in a closet, who start recording literally from their bed. And I did it for way too long. My back has major issues because of it. And I felt that in the States. I felt that, my lack of mobility, being in pain, even going to therapy and all that, was still a huge part of the frustration, plus the really toxic environment. So we moved. We said, we need to do what's better for us, and this is what's best. I removed a bunch of people from my life because I need time to heal. I need time to understand what's happening to me. I need time to process all the new information and all the downloads, and understand that within all this, I'm still very positive and caring and kind, and I believe there's a good out there, and I know the reason why I started this. I know the reason why I'm here I can't sit today, lying in bed. For those who are not looking at the video, I'm literally lying in bed with a heating pad on, but I'll get to that story in a second. So I truly know how to put my health first, at least my mental health first. I think that's the first thing I learned. My emotional health is what I'm learning now through the move, and understanding to let go of people that have been a negative influence in my life to some extent. That doesn't mean they won't come back, or I won't allow them to come back. It just means at this moment in time, if I don't take care of whatever's going on in me, I can easily end up like suicidal. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, really? I was talking about this with really close spiritual friends of just, we need to talk about this more, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And this is what I'm telling you. It's like, you're going to see me tomorrow verified. You're going to see me tomorrow a bunch of million followers more. You're going to see me tomorrow walking on red carpets. You're going to see me being able to create these retreats I want to create, and these academies I want to create, and, be that light worker that I know I am, and live off my passion in the best way possible. And when you see that, I want you to go back to this video or these moments and be like, this is also behind the scenes. And there's going to be harder moments. I don't know if harder. I don't think so, to be honest. I mean, knock on wood. But there's still going to be hard moments. There still might be a moment that I'm recording with my snoring husband in the background and not giving an F. And well, if he snores really loudly, then I'll pause. But you know what I mean? Like, these are the moments in time that people need to see a lot more. And I feel like that's what the new earth is. And like the kind of work that we're putting, because if you don't see this, you're not going to feel like a part of this community, or any community for that matter. You're going to be like, oh, look at that. She uploads pictures of her smiling, or like a beautiful background, or having, sangria, or having empanadas, arepas. Or, always, being grateful for her partner. Like, yeah, that took time. This is it. This is loud snoring, which I hope you guys are not listening to too much, to be honest, because poor you. You did not sign up for his snoring. But, will he be embarrassed? No, not really. He is also very natural and very carefree. He probably would have been like, you could have woken me up. I had a morning, so that's why I'll get to that message. This is why I'm here recording in this posture and in this moment, because it does not get any more real than this. Mentally. So mentally I got better. Emotionally I'm getting better now physically. Now going to chakras. This is a root chakra. This is the throat chakra. This is a both thing. This is my root. So with the hernia popping up is because of it's the what's it called, like the result of everything I didn't do, plus all the like static energy that's stuck there. So I've had a really hard time for the past, since summer 2021. Like, I don't even remember, probably more. I think I started like late 2020, kind of better with therapy 2021, and then it got to a point that it was just ruckus. Like, I couldn't even go to the bathroom, ruckus, because I couldn't sit down, ruckus. I was also offline for 3 months because of it. Not only because of that, but because I really needed to take a break for myself. And those 3 months were heaven-like. However, they weren't in the most ideal situation still, but at least I made the most of it. I did miss you. I miss my community. I miss spreading the message, and I miss continuing my passion in that kind of sense. I'm happy I did take that break. I'm happy that break taught me what I really needed from the online world as well, because I'm a person that when I'm never with my phone. Like, I upload a lot, I have things programmed, like, that's all great. But when I'm with you, and if I'm doing whatever the heck like, my phone's away. So being on it on a constant basis because of work was getting to me as well. Anyways, so we moved in January, and I walked my city every single day, 20,000 steps, 30,000 steps, 15,000 steps. And I'm like, I'm in my city now. Like, of course I can move. And of course I can, I'm going to feel better because I'm in the city I love. I get to see my beach every week. I get to, like, so deeply excited after 2.5 years of just chaos and pure toxicity and, like, figuring life out. And at the same time, building a company from the ground up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm here, let's do this. It got to a point, mid-February, that I couldn't move. That I legit, like, woke up one day and I was, like, half paralyzed. So that was something. All this while trying to find a job, because even though I am building a business, I still need a quote-unquote 9-to-5 job for a little time only. So I knew how to work either way. I'm still working, at least of the time of this episode being released. or recorded. Released? I would think so. Because I'm recording it 3 days before I release it. But you never know. A lot can happen in 3 days. So we'll see. So I went to the doctors a whole bunch. Did x-rays. I started working in March, working through the pain, working through it all, working through moving because we had to move again, working through a very toxic household that we moved into. Now, should I pause to tell you the side story that's also important? You guys heard it on TikTok, not through the podcast. This is why you've asked. For those who don't have TikTok or aren't so much online or whatever, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow, go with it, share my story, because why the F not? Who the hell is stopping me? If you want to listen, listen. If you don't. The end. Yeah, so the side story, we moved into a place where we were the first ones here, and we ended up moving in, well, we all moved kind of the same time with 4 other people. There's 8 of us in total. It's that's a whole different side thing as well. Let's not go there. But anyways, 4 other people. There were 2. There was a partner, like a couple, of old people, and then there was this daughter mother duo. The old couple, man, life, dude. They were nice to some extent. They were annoying also to some extent. But the biggest thing about them is that he was violent to her a lot. They fought every day. They fought all night. He was very, very aggressive towards her. We overheard a lot of things, kind of like, let me go, you're hurting me. It was a situation that I've lived in the past many, many times for as long as I can remember. And this goes back to the beginning of this episode where I was quiet, where I didn't speak up, where the moments that I started doing therapy and being in a better place, I started speaking up. But this also happened recently in my life, and I didn't speak up because I couldn't, because I was put in a situation that if I spoke up, then my whole world would have shattered, and I was already in such a breaking point with everything that I was really trying to save myself and focus on like balancing all out to get away and out of that situation. So here we are, like 2 months later after we moved to the beautiful city and that I call my home, which I talked about in my birthday episode last month, by the way. My birthday episode and one of the Motivational Monday episodes of this month, I want to say as well. We talk about home. Anyways, where these people were being very aggressive. He was very, very aggressive. They would just fight in the middle of the living room. We told the owner once. We told the owner twice. Well, we all told him in general. There was one day I was on medical leave. I was medical leave, by the way, for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks because of spring break. The best thing ever. I healed a lot. I'm back at work, at least once again, till the day that I'm recording this. We'll see after this morning, and we'll figure life out. And I was home, and I luckily I wasn't home alone. The other roommates, the really kind, loving ones, the one I do Motivational Monday with in Spanish, they were there too. It got so much that I called the owner, so I'm like, either you do something about this or I'm calling the police because this can't be no more. They came right away. Everything came right away, like exploded. And for me, what that taught me was learning that lesson of standing my ground and speaking my truth. Because not only have I been going through this, and I have gone through this previously, at the same time, I was releasing toxic people from my house and my life in general. That little wiggle, that's a Binks. That's a Binks. That might jump up, but now he's eating, so you know the drill with all my background noises in life. There'll be a studio one day. Vouch for that. But anyways, so with all this happening, I know the power within me, and I'm like standing strong and speaking my truth and speaking up for myself and speaking up for those who can't speak up. The way that like it all went down, like the woman was like looked at me and said, "Thank you. Like no one's done this. I don't know what to do." They left mid-April. No word about them. Hope they're safe. Hope she's safe. But it was one of those releases. It also happened, if I'm not mistaken, during the full moon release, that I released so much. It happened like right after my birth, like 2 days after my birthday. And I was like, I'm releasing all this ish for my life. You know? So that's on one hand. And then the mother-daughter duo, which I'm not even going to get into too much. It was just very, they treated us all in a very demeaning way at all times. They stole our food. They complained about everything. It was just, there were so many different examples that I can tell you of abuse, and not physical abuse, but verbal abuse to the rest of the house. And once again, I spoke to the owner, very thankful for the owner, very thankful that I got like, they heard me, and I know I wasn't the only one complaining by any means, but it was like, this ain't it. I did not just go through the life that I lived, that I'm healing from still, that I'm trying to make sure that my inner child's aligned, that my inner teenager is better, that I'm really trying, to build this, create this world and put all these pieces together, to the last 2 years and a half in the States that were very, very intense without adding more words to it, to then move to the city of my dreams, to the city where I call home, to a very temporary time in my life that I'm have to like share apartments with people to go through the same ish. So yes, I feel very empowered, and my husband reminds me, my friends remind me, people who've been doing this, like, hey, you stood your ground. And I'm like, I'm so thankful, because emotionally I know I'm healing, because I'm able to like go through those moments of life. Are you gonna jump up, Binks? Are you gonna jump up and say hello to the YouTube video? No? He might jump up. He's like, Mommy, play with me. No. So, that's something that I can for sure say that I'm proud of. And it's going to take me a while to realize that, on April 30th, we freaking celebrated. We threw a party between my roommates and me. The new people that arrived are also very nice. And we're like, this is a moment of celebration, because I stood my ground, because I was really strong-willed, and because, I just felt really called to do so. So you see me online. You see me, I'm creating content. I'm working my 9 to 5, which is not a 9 to 5. It's a 9 to 9 at times. It's a lot of extra unpaid work, but that's a whole different side issue. I'm working through my emotional problems. I'm also going out-ish. My friends are coming to me because they understand the pain I'm going through, and they are beautiful, beautiful friends. So I want you to see this part. I want you to see that there's growth. There's always growth if you allow yourself to have that growth. There's always growth if you are willing to put in the work, and it's a bitch of a work. It's a work that like you have to dig deep inside, and you have to understand not only the mistakes you've made, but also forgive yourself, that's a whole different side of this shit I haven't even gone, because I haven't even talked about the hernia, and here I am, you know what I mean? Or my painful morning that, oh my God. So like the fact that I'm allowing myself in this space in time more and more to be like, follow your passion, speak your truth, record that podcast, no matter the way it looks like, because someone out there is going to thank you for it. And even if I get 0 likes and 0 views, Ariadna, you mother effing did that for yourself, because this needed to be said. And not only because I go to therapy, and I say it in therapy, and I say it to my husband, I say it to my best friend, I say it to my cat, because I express myself, and I'm really willing to put all the puzzle pieces together at all set time. Another thing to add, I appreciate people who respect my space. If you're one of those people listening right now and you're respecting my space, thank you, because I need space. I need time, like everyone needs time. I am sick and tired of people thinking that I'm on their beck and call. And maybe because I was a people pleaser. Well, maybe I was a people pleaser before, and I always thought that, like, I'm going to put you in a pedestal and not me, and I'm going to put you first and not me, and this is why, here I am. But now this is like a huge life altering moment where I'm putting myself first. So within all that, now you see a Binks at the window. There's he at the window. If you're seeing the YouTube video, he's in the background at the window, as always. So, we're diving into the hernia thing. So at some point of April, a week before my birthday, I found out the hernia. It wasn't the worst news, but it wasn't the best news. It wasn't the most shocking news. It was news. I know it's more than just the lack of exercise. I'm doing what I can. I'm eating healthier. I am moving. I'm taking my hyperthyroidism pill a lot better and working ways and autologous and things like that. So I know, like, physically, in a scientific way, I'm doing what I need to be doing the moment I moved back home, because I have all the tools here to do so. At the same time, because I'm healing in a very deeper spiritual way. If you want to know about more deeper spiritual stuff, I always recommend Shika. I recommend Ilona, Shayla, Courtney, and the Biz Bruja. They've all been on my podcast. They all have amazing things. And Mama B has always been spot on as well. She's also been on a podcast twice. I'll tag them down below in the Instagram caption for you guys to see either those episodes. You can just scroll back to them, but also see their profiles, because if you're into all this, then please go follow through and support this beautiful world. And Christine, Cosmic Christine as well. I'll make sure I'll write all those down to make sure they're tagged down below. So, also been on my podcast, by the way. A year ago, she was on my podcast right before she gave birth to her baby girl, and it's been insane. She was like recording, and she's like 2-3 weeks before her baby was born. It was so special as well. Anyways, so yeah, going back to the issue. On a spiritual sense, since I'm releasing so much, since I'm shifting so much, since we did the new earth, we did the portal, we doing manifestations and motivations, and I'm putting the work in. I've been called more, to share these moments of truth. And I don't mind my 9 to 5. The environment's really nice. It's a very demanding job though, and I move around way too much for the pain that I'm in. What you see on Instagram is very real as well. I do, enjoy my life, and I'm grateful, and I want to stay grounded, and I'm grateful in the moment. I'm grateful for just everything I have, the technology, the ability, you guys, my team flyer, my friends, water, just literally everything. You have Pink standing. He's such a little human. I don't think oh my goodness. That was adorable for those seeing the YouTube video. I feel like you're seeing Binks more. I just looked back and Binks is standing on his hind legs. He does that a lot. I was doing this yoga once, and I forgot who she was. I'll try to remember. And she fostered kittens. And she's like, this is the reality right now. I'm fostering kittens, and this is the video of the week. You're going to see kittens, basically. And it was very distracting. So that might have been distracting for the YouTube video. Anyways, Binks, come on. Excuse this moment of time. Hold on. There you go. We do what we can. We work with what we got, because I can't move today. So, going through all these beautiful moments and going through a moment of celebration literally the night before I recorded this, because I kicked people out of my life that were toxic. That, did not serve me and that no longer serve me. I'm releasing all these emotions, and I'm like, that chakra, that friggin' root chakra, what do you want from me? What is going on? And I'm called to do this. So I woke up in blistering pain, in pain that I had 2 months ago, in pain that I couldn't move, that like my husband, we went to bed late. We woke up and I'm like, I need to wake you up. I cannot move. I cried for 2 hours. It's bad. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm putting in the work. Yesterday I stayed home. My friends came home to me. My friends cooked for me. I worked a lot on the Always Believer. Believe me, never, no pun intended. Because I love what I do, and it's the passion that fuels me. But I was calm. Like after a whole week of Monday to Friday kicking my butt, because I wake up at 7 to start. I start work at 7:30 in the morning, and I finish work like at almost midnight sometimes. Like, I rested yesterday. You know what I mean? So I woke up in this enormous pain that I haven't felt in. I felt it twice recently, like in February when I was like, holy fudge, what is this? And then right before I did my medical leave, because I was like, this can't, what's happening? And I don't know what to tell you. I'm sharing this because this is as real as it gets. I am also very inspired by Steffi. I will also tag her down below, Stephanie Savvy. She's going through a lot as well, not hernia, thank gosh, but weight issues and what's it called? Body image and all these sorts of things. And her content is goofy, is funny. She makes you laugh. She's such a kind-hearted soul. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to speak my truth. And I'm like, girl, I fucking salute you. I really do. And all the people I mentioned before her in this episode. Because I love that. I feel like the world needs to see that. I feel like this is why I'm here today, right now. Because literally, through this pain, I couldn't move. Every single position of like I had going on, it was just in like 120% pain. I'm like, do I go to the ER again? Do I go back to the hospital? What do I do? And you're asking at this point, right? I didn't know why you're recording right now. Why are we listening to your husband snore in the background? Maybe. But you see a Binks for the YouTube videos. I feel like I'm inciting you guys to watch the YouTube videos because of Binks. Anyways. Because you know what? After 2 hours of pain, I'm still in pain, by the way. Moved here from the couch, heating pad, pills. The first thing I did, I was like, honey, put Disney music on. I need to sing. I was either between like Disney music or like FU music, and I thought of like Avril Lavigne and Kelly Clarkson. For some reason. But no, we put Disney because I've needed to calm down before I either had a panic attack or like a full on aggressive attack. Not towards him by any means, but like towards the pillow and be like, oh my God. So it's like Disney can calm me down. Disney, we put some Encanto, we put some, of course, Moana, we put some Coco. It was a Disney playlist. Disney. Okay. And I was singing one of the songs, probably Moana / Encanto at some point. And I was like, I need to record this moment in time. I was also scrolling through TikTok because I couldn't move. And he's like, have your phone, watch something. Let's figure this out. You know what I mean? And he what now? Oh yeah, scrolled through TikTok. And TikTok for me is very therapeutic. Sometimes I get a little bit lost in the rabbit hole, but not so much. For me, it's more therapeutic because I do follow a lot of tarot readers and spiritual light workers and all these sorts of people. And I believe in a lot of like the messages of like what life is trying to give me at that moment. So with that, I'm like listening to what these people have to say. Shayla's one of them, by the way. And they were just like, she said something really nice in one of the latest ones. She's like, you're one cry away from manifesting your dreams. And I keep hearing that a lot. Like, you're almost there. Just keep working through it. And also, like, follow your passion. Don't do it for money. And this I do if I'm in the middle of pain with a snoring husband and a cat in the background that you might get distracted and things like that. And even though part of me feels bad because you're not supposed to be listening to my husband snore, I'm like, you know what? If I don't put this content out right now, if I don't say what's on my mind right now, it's just going to be like all for nothing. Everything I created for the Always Believer since like 7-8 years ago, it's all be for nothing. Because if you don't see this real side, if you don't see this reality of life, as well as like the reality of like, oh my God, she's interviewing Stephanie Beatriz and she's interviewed Jessica Maria Garcia and she's interviewing all these actresses and singers, and like, then what's the point? What is the freaking point of what I'm doing? And I had a conversation with this about Shayla, not only in the podcast, I'm not on the podcast yet, but sometime soon. I think coming out, I think we're probably at that probably too. May's topic. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, like if you don't put out that deep rooted shadow work that you're doing, no matter what that looks for you, because it looks different for everybody, what is the point of showing up as a light worker? What is the point of showing up as a spiritual human being? What is the point of you telling the world and telling your people that you love that, hey, I need this space right now. Please respect my space. I'm going through healing a process. I will get to you like when I can. Let me just figure out this part of me right now because this is what I need. And if I don't do this for me right now, what is that going to lead me to? Being a 60-year-old woman that's depressed, and that's it? And suicidal? No, that's not life. We know that's not life. We all know, if you're listening to this podcast 40 minutes in, 127 something episodes in, you know this is not the point of life. So it's like, I needed more than a 3-minute TikTok or many TikToks because I miss TikTok. So like what's happening currently, I have an overload of work at work, my 9 to 5, which is not a 9 to 5 because it's more, I'm creating a lot of podcast episodes both in English and in Spanish for the Always Believer, and while going through this pain and these issues and whatnot, I'm like, I miss TikTok. I miss writing back to you guys kind of right away, like I used to do like a month ago maybe, that had a little bit more time. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna transfer that into a longer episode talking about this. That's not Motivational Monday, but that it's Go to Fly Wednesday with me. 1, you've asked for it since day 1, and I'm so freaking grateful for that. And 2, and I'm like, I need this message out there. Some way, somewhere out there, this has helped someone in ways that I cannot even fathom to imagine, or whatever the sentence is. So for now, after giving my own spiel, the only thing I can give you, the only thing else I can say probably after giving you this spiel is 1, I will give you updates either through TikTok or another Go to Fly episode. If you like this kind of format for longer episodes apart from Motivational Mondays, let me know as well. Obviously, if you like something, please, if something resonated with you, if you really feel connected to this moment in time of life with me, follow, share, like, comment, share your story, share your thoughts, share an emoji, share your favorite color, boost people that you love, because we want to make the world a better place. All the content creators I just told you, we want to make the world a better place. And this shit, this work, like any job, is freaking difficult, and it's a lot of hours, and it's a lot of, I'm a one-woman show still. I have some help here and there, but still, we started from the ground up, and this is what it looks like. As for me for today, apart from, continue being heating pad and continue breathing, I will go meditate. I will try to sleep some more because I also barely slept. I'm going to go read my cards. And maybe, just maybe, in the next few hours, I have enough strength to get up, to call my friend because they love me. And maybe they can drive me to the beach. You know what I mean? They're really good to me. So, or if not, I just stay in bed all day. You know what I mean? I'm going to do what's right for me. And this is what right looks like. This is what real looks like. You don't really see it a lot in the YouTube video because I think I'm against the light. But it's like all the acne I've been getting lately. I think it's leaving now, finally. I'm not really big on acne, only like in certain times of the month, if you know what I mean. AKA period. Why am I sugarcoating a period? That's something else we gotta talk about. Why? We need to talk about periods more. Anyways, because it's a normal thing that we go through every single month. Anyways, my bestie, who's also like a sister to me, she's like, that's your stress right now. You're overwhelmed. You have a lot on your plate because you're in pain, and you're frustrated because you can't move, and I'm a person who loves to move. So I'm going to take it easy. I'm not disappearing from online so much because I am in season 3 and I'm choosing to, because this is the fire. There we go. The fire that fuels me to the greatest, most amazing, wonderful abilities, this is also something that I want to share. So, but even though I'm still very much me, I'm online a lot, but at the same time I'm not. So I'm also choosing to disconnect in every single moment I can. Hi, thank you for having all the patience and love. I am so thankful for you. I'm thankful that you're here right now listening to this video, listening to the episode itself, even though if it's only on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube audio, because I also have that. Lips in my website, thealwaysbeliever.com, where I also have posts every Monday, Wednesday, I don't know. I don't remember right now, and that's why my brain is out right now. I also post blog posts there too. Thank you for following me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on more places, but those are my two main places, and they're where you're going to see me the most. I'm ultra thankful that you're patient, that I feel like that's what the world needs. I need to be patient with myself. We didn't even talk about forgiving myself. Oof, I'm not starting that because this episode is going to be an hour and a half long. But that's a good topic, to forgive yourself. That's something that I'm also going through and learning to be kinder to myself and to truly forgive, because I demand myself. If you've seen Encanto, I'm going to, Encanto, Coco, Turning Red, Moana, Soul, Onward, like Luca, for freaking rails. If you saw Onward, Louisa, I'm very demanding with myself to be always perfect. And even though I really want to be more and more real within myself, it's a whole personal struggle. But once again, that can be for another podcast, because, I can let you guys go off to your thing too and take all the information I just gave you in, basically. But thank you for your patience. Thank you for understanding, respecting my space, and respecting my time and need, and respecting, that I do take time. Oh my God, I have the most adorable kitty in the world. Thank you for all the big pictures I always upload and you guys like. I'm thankful for the abundance we have. I'm thankful that, I'm able to live in a very peaceful house finally, even if it's still with 6 other people. But it's very peaceful. I'm thankful that my cat is loved by everybody, which is really important to me, of course. I'm thankful that I do have a 9-to-5 job that helps maintain our lifestyle. And I'm thankful that I have the strength and the love and the patience of myself and my ohana to really keep going and understanding that we are made for more, and this is how change happens. What are you thankful for today? That could be the question, because I can't think of any more questions. Unless you feel like sharing more of your story, please share more of your story. I'm here to listen. I might take 2 days to respond because life, but I'm here to listen. I really am. And I really love talking to you guys one-on-one TikTok and getting your comments and commenting back as a video. I freaking adore that. I love video. So I'm really trying to get that on more. So once I record a whole bunch of these, and once I get, the Always Believer May on track, which is really soon, I'll, shift things around and balance things out. Please share, subscribe, follow, and not only me, but the content creators I set up below, up above, and down below in the Instagram caption, I guess, and follow them too. Follow things, surround yourself with things that lift you up, with people that lift you up. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You do you, boo. You be you. And whoever has space to hold space for you, that's great. And if they don't, that's fine too. It might be hard. And it might be a really hard band-aid to rip off, and another way of forgiving yourself as well. But he jumped up. I knew he was going to jump up right at the end. Say hello, Binks. That was adorable, Binks. That's a camera. Thank you very much. That's a nice reminder of saying, let go of toxic people. Go with the flow. All good things to those who wait. And as long as you keep working on yourself, magic is everywhere. Okay, my loves? Hug tighter, love stronger. You know where we're at. Thank you for listening. I appreciate every single one of you. To the moon and back. 3,000. Let's keep making this world a better place together. All right? Love you. Bye.